on TMZ.
The defense is now cross-examining Cassie Ventura. There are a lot of people in the courtroom confused about why the prosecutors obsess over domestic violence that isn't really related to the crimes for which Diddy is charged. She laid out a lot of criminal conduct, but it's state criminal conduct. And the question is, how do prosecutors close the loop on bringing it back to the counts that he's facing in this federal trial?
Justin Bieber, he has the biggest bonk and he's like smirking.
He's literally just laughing at all the people who are concerned about it.
But like Haley confronted him and was like, hey, we have a kid now, like you have to stop smoking weed.
Weed is not an impediment to parenting.
When you smoke weed, don't you get a head change?
I'm different, but in a more brilliant way.
I would hope so.
Honestly.
Joe Jonas seems to have a new love interest in his life. He was on a 3-hour date.
Joe Jonas went through a very public, nasty divorce. Does she say, you know, I heard about this?
No.
I think it came up.
Of course it came up.
Harvey, you think she brings up, so you're accused of kidnapping?
Chris Brown has international issues after being arrested in Manchester for a 2-year-old warrant.
Chris Brown went over there for a tour. Clearly he didn't know that he was about to be, you know.
Can you outrun the law like that?
I got a parking fine in America and they found my Australian address.
Did you pay it or you said?
No, I'm still not paying it.
It's gonna go up and up and up and up.
At some point, they'll like start seizing stuff.
They'll take away your boomerangs, they'll take away everything, dude.
Cassie Ventura, now under cross-examination in the Diddy case. So far, she's testified to some pretty damning stuff, but
There are a lot of people in court who think the star witness, Cassie Ventura, has not been as damaging to Diddy as we expected. Most of her testimony has been about domestic violence.
But he's not charged with beating her. He is not charged with rape. To prove the counts of sex trafficking,
You gotta show this force or coercion that pushed her into doing various sexual acts. They rarely try to close that loop.
Isn't the fear that she lived in created the coercion?
That's exactly the point, that it's the fear that she had in her head.
She testified that during their first freak-off, she felt dirty and humiliated. 2 years after that first freak-off, she texted Diddy, always ready to freak off. It's hard to say that he was aware that she felt those negative feelings about the freak-off.
Cassie did testify on occasions Diddy was angry at her. He would threaten to release videos of their freak-offs to destroy her career. She said she went along with the freak-offs out of fear of that. However,
she's never testified squarely that he would release the freak-off videos unless she did another freak-off.
But isn't that implied?
A jury could.
So the idea the jury is going to pick up on these picayune distinctions.
Juries do that.
Wouldn't a reasonable person be scared that he's going to do it if you don't listen to him?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
No, it's not.
It isn't.
Maybe she's the star witness in that she has painted the picture of what Diddy really was like. Now they're seeing him as a monster. As far as closing the loop on the crimes, on the counts that he's facing, we've still got 7 weeks. You're right.
it ain't over till the jury sings, so stay tuned.
A music legend is making a highly anticipated return to music after 10 years breaking the internet. Okay. Hilary Duff is back.
I actually love that.
That's a good one.
Lizzie McGuire, dude.
Her husband posted a picture on Instagram of her in the recording studio, and then it just came out that she signed to CAA. So millennial pop music is back.
Awesome.
The early 2000s are back.
Harvey, could you have been more disappointed with the punchline to that pitch?
Yeah.
You and me both.
Come on, she had some good songs.
Lizzie McGuire's beloved.
Hilary Duff is the reason I got married because she was going on Tinder to and she was actually taking dates. So Daniel signed up to Tinder to find Hilary Duff, and then he found me.
Ended up with you.
What a lucky guy!
You think you're going to Neiman's, you end up in Marshall's.
And now it's Harry and Meghan in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Another exiled British-American couple. Cheerio, no you didn't.
Amidst all the new Beckham family feud, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry invited Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Pertz to a dinner party.
No way.
I love this.
Yes, Megxit meet Bexit.
King Charles has refused to speak to Harry. has cut Harry and Meghan out of his life. David Beckham has cut his son Brooklyn out of his life.
And it was all because of a random American girl.
It's all the same.
Plus, there are rumors of a feud between Harry and Meghan and David and Victoria, who used to be great friends.
So if he's like siding with Brooklyn, that is a dig.
Where'd they go, at Exile in Montecito?
Pretty much.
No, it's not a place, I made that up.
Although it would be a great restaurant name. When you're here, it's because you can't be with your family.
They're apparently saying, though, that this was all a coincidence.
Coincidence?
But it was at Harry and Meghan's house.
I don't think that Harry and Meghan themselves reached out to them personally.
It was a huge event. It wasn't an intimate dinner, you guys.
They had to sign off on the invite.
You're my assistant, right?
Right.
If there's a knock at my door and Derek shows up for dinner and you just invited him and didn't tell me, you'd be in trouble.
And I'm not leaving. I am there, dude. Once I'm in your doors, good luck.
He's your roommate now. Happy Exile dinner party, you four! Toodles!
So the new Final Destination movie comes out this week. And
Another Final Destination?
I know, I mean, they've got a ton. So there's a famous scene in one of the movies where there's a big truck carrying the logs.
Oh, yes.
And then it, you know, impales the guy in his car.
Can I tell you, I always worry about that.
So a lot of people do because of the movie, and they're leaning into it. This is their ad, and it's just
A logging truck with Final Destination stickers on the side.
That's great marketing.
That's great. That's a great
Because Siobhan
ad.
says she thinks about that every time she drives behind one of
I
them.
always think about that.
But the driver's like hamming it up and stuff. It's like, dude, watch the road.
And now Shia LaBeouf and Timothy Chalamet in the most alarming feud ever!
Absolutely blown away by your work. Every blessing to you.
Make that the most charming feud ever! Are these two in a feud or what?
Shia LaBeouf wants everyone to know that he is not in a feud with Timothy Chalamet.
But fans say otherwise, because after Timothy's SAG Award speech where he said,
"The truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness."
Shia told The Hollywood Reporter, he says something like, "I want to be great." On him, it's cute. On me, it wasn't cute.
So a lot of fans went after him for like going after Timothy by basically saying
he's getting a break because he's a nice guy.
I agree.
But Shia does all this method acting that people find very strange. Like he allegedly shot a stray dog just to feel what it feels like.
Must be the gnome method. But Shia says it's all good with Timothy and he's got receipts.
he posted actual emails. So in 2023, Shia was on Broadway and Timothy wrote him an email saying, "Absolutely blown away by your work the other night, totally electric, totally present at every turn." Nice email.
More than nice. I mean, it's so gracious.
Shia writes back, "Thank you, doggy. Every blessing to you."
Is that stray dog?
Yeah.
He did end the email with bang bang. Point is, Shia and Timothy are all good. But maybe not Sean and Timothy.
Timothy got shaded by Sean Penn. Sean Penn said, "There are no more movie stars." And when they said, "What about Timothy Chalamet?" he said, "I haven't seen his movies yet."
That's old man being jealous.
I just think people are at a little bit of a Timothy fatigue. He's oversaturated.
Yeah, you two would kill to be that saturated. So in the words of Shia, bang bang everybody! Whatever that means.
Chris Brown has international issues after being arrested in London.
For what?
For a 2-year-old warrant. So get this, in February 2023, he allegedly smashed someone in the head with a bottle in a nightclub.
Wait. We reported that.
We reported on the lawsuit. So the guy sued him.
But did we know there was a criminal investigation?
We did not.
Well, apparently Chris Brown didn't know either.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew.
Can you run the law like that? Like, if I have a warrant in Massachusetts, I just don't go there?
Yeah.
If it's a misdemeanor, they can't extradite. If it's certain felonies, they could extradite.
I know. I got a parking fine in America like 3 years ago, and they found my Australian address to pay it. Like, they find you.
Did you pay it, or you said
No, I'm still not paying it. Now it's like, now you're in trouble.
Well, no, because it's going to go up and up and up and up and up.
At some point, they'll like start seizing stuff.
They'll take away your boomerangs, they'll take away everything. Seriously, they seize everything. Your didgeridoo's got liens on it.
Yeah, that's what I brought to LA, my didgeridoo.
Coming up,
Joe Jonas seems to have a new love interest in his life. We got photos of him out in New York City.
Joe Jonas went through a very public, nasty divorce. And you want to get to know somebody. On the first date, does she say, you know, I heard about this?
No.
Coming up.
Billie Jean King, and I asked her about the Pope being a tennis fan.
I have a serious question. Would you aim to knock the hat off?
Yeah. You have to.
You gotta, right?
Be right back.
And now it's Justin Bieber in When in Iceland, Do as the Icelandic Do. That's actually illegal in Iceland, but they'll never know, aside from the fact that he posted it.
He just posted this carousel of photos of just smoke.
Some might say he's living his best life.
No, he's literally just laughing at all the people who are concerned about him.
We hit on it in our new documentary, TMZ Investigates What Happened to Justin Bieber, now on Hulu. We say that Haley confronted him and was like, hey, we have a kid now, like you have to stop smoking weed.
Wives always want you to cut back on something.
Stop watching football. Stop leaving the toilet seat up. Stop sleeping with other women. Nag, nag, nag.
So he is spending upwards of $60,000 a night because he's rented out this hotel. Justin Bieber spends a lot of money. And in this documentary that we did, we get into this. In 2022, he was flat broke.
After having made almost $1 billion and he was broke.
Which explains why Justin sold his catalog in 2022 for $200 million. Something Scooter Braun advised against, but Justin didn't listen.
All he has to do, though, is drop an album and go on tour.
He's not mentally capable of going on tour.
But he'll be okay because his wife can probably chip in to pay the bills thanks to her makeup line, which has a not so bad evaluation.
It's worth more than $1 billion.
Why didn't you get into makeup?
You would buy makeup that Harvey wears?
Hey, you could look 64.
Yeah. One word, bronzer. So catch TMZ Investigates What Happened to Justin Bieber on Hulu now. And Justin, we can only imagine what the Northern Lights look like when you're high.
Pope Leo, he's a tennis fan.
I know. I got Billie Jean King out in Santa Monica.
I am so jealous.
Iconic. So we were at an event for QVC, and I asked her about the Pope being a tennis fan.
I loved it when he said, you know, this will be a chance for me to start hitting tennis balls more again. And I went, oh my God, this guy loves tennis.
Tennis, would you take him up for a game?
I don't know. I don't know, but I would make sure that we go out and hit.
I have a serious question. If you were playing tennis against the Pope and the Pope had the hat on, would you aim to knock the hat off?
For sure. You have to.
I know it sounds sacrilegious, but you gotta, right?
I don't want my Pope playing tennis.
Why?
He's supposed to be doing godly things.
Can I say, if the Pope played tennis, it would be so fabulous.
If he turned to the chair and said, you can't be serious, that was on the line. I swear to God.
Oh my God, this guy loves tennis.
And now, Joe Jonas must really like this girl because that's a long date. Starring Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas seems to have a new love interest in his life. We got photos of him out in New York City this week.
Yes, JJ was spotted getting drinks in the East Village with this curly brown-haired woman.
Who is she?
We don't know who she is. We were told there wasn't, from people that were there wasn't any real PDA.
But there was a real time commitment because they were there for 3 hours.
That's a long date, 3 hours.
If you're with somebody for 3 hours, there's a connection.
Or a boat tour that gets stranded on a desert island.
So Joe Jonas went through a very public, nasty divorce. And you want to get to know somebody. On the first date, does she say, you know, I heard about this?
No.
Harvey, you think she brings up, so you were accused of kidnapping?
The classic first date icebreaker.
Because everybody's read about it.
You pretend that you don't know anything about him.
I'm the date and you're Joe. You're telling me right now that you were married and you had some kids, right?
Yeah.
I have to be like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. By the way, I love you in that dress.
Thank God this date's not 3 hours. Congrats on the longest date ever, Joe!
I'd just been dumped by a guy over the phone.
Anna Camp from Pitch Perfect and True Blood, and she said when she was 21 years old, she married her rebound.
And so we met very young. It was like a one-night stand that lasted 7 years.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Well, but wait a minute, maybe that means passion.
Her entire first marriage was like a one-night stand. Like, you shouldn't actually be there.
Well, she was in a really long relationship, got out of it.
And I was like, I'm gonna go out for the first time. I took like a week to whatever, and then I went out, and that's when I met my first husband.
Is she the one that just came out as a lesbian?
Yep. Anna Camp's a lesbian now?
Yeah.
I always wondered about that. I have a friend who was dating a woman for like 10 years, 11 years, and she decided she was a lesbian at the end.
What do you mean decided she was a lesbian?
Well, she had to go through a process. And in fact, she said, I want to start experimenting with women. And he said, I'm all for it, because he thought he was going to be involved.
Coming up.
Mel B, Scary Spice. She was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and at one point, he asked her, like,
Spice Girls, what's happening?
Oh my
Can we tell you, come on, big announcement tonight.
Oh my God. Justin Bieber has made between $500 million and $1 billion.
TMZ investigates. Is he unraveling before our eyes?
He definitely looked out of it.
Those videos were scary.
The power struggle fueled by money.
He was on the verge of financial collapse.
And accusations of betrayal.
For the first time in a long time, he has a circle of people that are protecting him.
Find out the source behind his latest struggles.
They are saying this is a cult.
Absolutely.
TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber. Stream on Hulu now.
Spice Girls, what's happening?
Oh my God.
Can we tell you, come on, big announcement tonight.
very sad news for Spice Girl fans. Looks like they're never gonna reunite.
Oh my God, que lastima, lo siento.
I know. So this is so depressing. Mel B, Scary Spice, she was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and at one point, he asked her, like, are you guys going to reunite? Like, what's the deal?
I'm always the first person to say, oh, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But just this once, I'm not saying anything.
Jimmy Fallon, he goes, oh my God, I'm gonna take that a step. Like, he gets excited.
Take it as you want to take it, Jimmy.
But like, every fan watching is like, no, 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 you're reading the wrong thing.
Hold on, I got the solution to this.
Okay.
It's Victoria, right?
That's what they believe.
They should get Nicola.
Yes, if it's not
Wow.
you,
They should get Nicola. Hold on a second, Nicola's not a singer. Who cares?
Is Victoria?
Victoria? Fair point.
Coming up.
Things are getting serious between Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt. They're actually living together.
I followed this LC girl, remember? She only had like 50,000 followers.
Does your wife have any issues with
I'm allowed to stare. Well, I say I'm allowed to stare when we're out and about, because that's my job, is surveying for celebrities.
Where can you see huge stars in Hollywood? No, not the planetarium, that's for nerds. We mean the TMZ Celebrity Tour, where we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Rihanna, Ben Affleck, The Rock, Mark Wahlberg, Lizzo, Lady Gaga, Ryan Seacrest, and Jamie Foxx. You'll learn the secrets of the city and see Hollywood as only TMZ can show you. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Things are getting serious between Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt. We found out that they're actually living together and have been for a few months now. So they're bouncing between two places. One is Pete's place in upstate New York, and they just rented a brownstone in Brooklyn. And so they go back and forth.
Wow.
They're gonna get married, I reckon.
You think?
Yeah, she's just so cute, and they just seem like they're a good pair.
I followed this LC girl, remember? She only had like 50,000 followers.
Can I ask you a question? Does your wife have any issues with you just...
He says for work.
And that's what you always say?
I'm allowed to stare. Well, I say I'm allowed to stare when we're out and about, because that's my job, is surveying for celebrities.
You're saying you creep on girls because you just work too hard?
He works too hard.
What can I say? Off the clock. I'm working off the clock again.
If you submit for overtime, I will cut you.